Hey Scrappers, it's Vanessa here with another Scrapbook Process video. And today we are starting out with some Shimmer's Vibes in Deep Blue Sea. And I decided to add a little something to this cardstock, or not cardstock, but pattern paper. It's just a plain grid pattern paper and it's very thin. And I wanted to add some mixed media to the background, but nothing too heavy because the paper just won't hold up to it. So I just took the wand of this ink and I just scraped it along the edges. I didn't care that some were larger splotches and some were smaller. I really love how this kind of frames that paper and it just adds a little something extra to the background. So that's the mixed media that'll go on this one, and that grid paper is going to be mounted on that red piece of cardstock. Now for this layout, I did pull mainly two Echo Park collections from my stash. This first one is Beautiful Life collection, and I am using one of the border strip papers that had a music note pattern on it. I cut that one out, and then this ticket paper, I'm going to actually fussy cut a few of the tickets out from this paper as well. And then in a second here you're going to see the second piece of, or the other Echo Park collection that I pulled, which was probably one of my most favorite floral papers ever. I love this. It's from the We Are Family, I believe, Echo Park collection, and this was all I had left of that floral paper, and I've cut all the florals out and I'm going to use them on this page. And I love that paper. I love the colors of both of these collections and I liked using them together. They both kind of complement each other in the colors, which is good when you have the same manufacturer. A lot of times the colors will be somewhat similar. And so basically for my background, I am just going to cut 3 strips of paper. One was from a Dear Lizzie in that blue polka dot, and then this other striped one was from the We Are Family Echo Park collection as well. And so those are going to act as, I don't mat my photos, so they kind of act as a mat almost for my photos on this layout. And my photos will go right there, sort of in the center, not quite centered, but pretty close to center. And I'm going to build my 3 embellishment clusters around that. And I'm using all of those florals, which they make up the majority of the embellishment clusters on this layout just because they're so large. And I absolutely love them. I love the colors of these florals. And so I am going with my 3 embellishment clusters, sort of making up that visual triangle. I think this is probably one of my favorite go-to designs to use on my scrapbook layouts. I love that 3 cluster triangular layout that really makes your eye draw into the photos because they're in the middle of that triangle. And so you see I'm just going to lay out those 3 clusters, and my title will go down on that 3rd cluster. I often like to have my titles touching or very close to one of my clusters. I don't like my titles floating, and so I often make sure that my titles tie into one of my clusters somewhere on my layout, and so it will go down eventually to that bottom cluster underneath the photos. And so I'm just looking at it and just making sure it's what I like before I take everything off and glue it down. But before I do the gluing down of the photos and the embellishment clusters, I did go and add this washi tape. I'm trying to use my washi tape more, and this washi tape is like a pink, I don't know the name of the pattern on it, but it's an older washi tape that I had in my stash, and I decided to put it on the top and bottom of those paper strips that I added, and then I put a little bit on the top cluster, on the top left cluster, just to sort of add a hint of that pink up there at that cluster as well, because the other 2 clusters will have some of that washi tape around them, obviously. So here I've gone ahead, I've added in, or I've glued everything down, I should say, and I was just showing you really quickly that I put foam behind all of the main florals so that it gives some lift and some dimension. It's because it's all paper. Everything I'm using on this layout pretty much is paper, and so I needed to have some sort of dimension so it wasn't so flat. And here you see that I am now going to build my title. So I'm using a combination of L Studio in, I think these are like a teal color alpha, and then I'm using some HipKit navy alphas they're like a puffy sticker alpha for my title. And once I get my title down, the last thing that I am going to add, if I'm not mistaken, will be coming up here in a sec. I believe I add some, it's either enamel dots or sequins. I'm kind of on a sequin kick lately, so I'm pretty sure I add some pink sequins in here in a second. But that is pretty much how this layout is going to go. This layout, as you've seen lately, is also for a bingo challenge on the Secret Not Secret Kit Club. And so this one was to do a layout for a concert. And so I decided to choose a set of pictures that were from a concert in the park in the Magic Kingdom when they had Night of Joy. It used to happen in the Magic Kingdom park. And so we had gone one year, and these were pictures from inside the park at one of the concerts. And so that's why the title of this one is called Concert in the Park. And for this one, I do put my journaling on the back because there really wasn't anywhere that I felt like I wanted to put journaling on the front. And there you see, as I said, I'm kind of on a sequin kick lately. And so I am going to put these pink sequins in each of the clusters. And once those go down, that is pretty much it for this layout. So if you guys are enjoying the video, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Still photos are coming up, and I will talk to everyone later. Bye-bye, guys.